Hey Spectrum, it's Ellie.
And Preston.
We hope you had a wonderful Spirit Week. I know I did.
Me too. What was your favorite dress-up day, Ellie?
Crazy COVID mask day, of course.
Mine too.
Sadly, Spirit Week is done, but the fun isn't over. We still have lots of fun news and stories to share with you today.
Starting first with a message from our very own Student Council. Let's tune in.
Hello, Spectrum. I'm Student Council's Vice President, here to send you a little note on how we can all stay safe. It's that time of the year where the snow is falling, the wind gets brisk, and the roads are just terrible. It's our job to make sure we drive extra slow and careful. Being safe on winter roads is just like being safe during COVID. This year, we have some extra responsibilities and duties that Student Council is here to remind us all about. Stay safe and stay tuned.
Hey Sting, did you miss summer 2019? Did you miss when we didn't have to wear masks, social distance from one another, or worry about the risk of catching a life-threatening disease? Me too. So how can we go back to that? Well, here's a couple tips on how you can do your part in making it all possible. What we do know is that wearing a mask, sanitizing, and not meeting in big groups is really important to stay on track for a COVID-free future. Did you know that testing for the virus via a swab in the nose is so effective because your nose and mouth harbor tons of bacteria and disease, including the coronavirus? That is why it's vital to make sure that your mask covers both your nose and your mouth to prevent any particles from getting into the air or onto the person or surface in front of you. This virus may not kill all of us, but what we don't know about the after effects is the most dangerous part. According to the CDC, heart palpitations, brain fog, and severe physiological and psychological damages continue to emerge as long-term symptoms of COVID-19. More serious long-term effects are less common, but include hair loss, renal failure, inflammation of the heart, and lung function abnormalities. These reports aren't just from the elderly, they're from kids like you and me.
My name is Joe Ketholt. I'm a senior and I'm the president of Student Council. I know we're all excited about the vaccine coming up, but the CDC still recommends wearing masks around anyone outside of our initial family unit and socially distancing. This is to ensure that there is no risk to the general public. For these, especially for holidays coming up, there are many resources to have a good time with your family for all of these holidays that could be coming up this year.
Just one person can make a difference in all of our lives. To stay safe means to care about others.
This pandemic is a lesson to teach us how to appreciate the time we have now more than ever.
Please remember that this pandemic is not just about your personal safety. It's about the safety of others. That includes your parents, grandparents, and others who are immunocompromised. I wear a mask for the frontline healthcare providers who keep us safe every day. Why do you wear yours? Stay safe, Spectrum. Nico and I practice staying safe and staying at home by practicing our tricks. New high five. And don't forget, visit our Spectrum Student Council page at Spectrum Student Council. Have a great semester.
It was great to hear from Student Council.
Now we have a story of sports in COVID.
Take it away, crew.
Hello, Spectrum staff and students. Even though COVID hit hard this year, that doesn't stop our coaches from trying to keep sports going.
Well, like I was saying, even before COVID, all of our mats are always sanitized before and after practice. Everyone's got a shower and hopefully use some soaps that are going to take off any skin diseases or things like that. So I feel like wrestling was really prepared for it.
Everything is being affected by COVID. But look at the bright side. New opportunities have come from this pandemic.
Actually, it's actually because of the whole COVID situation that I came to be the wrestling coach. My job usually has me working in Minneapolis 5 days a week, and I wouldn't have been able to make it to practices at 3:30 in the afternoon from Minneapolis. So when COVID hit, I started working from home, and since then I've been able to work from home, and now I'm able to coach. So really, I have to look at it from that positive perspective of this is something that I get to experience now that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to. And hopefully, like I said, the guys on the wrestling team and the gals on the wrestling team, hopefully they can also pull some positives out of this and look at the things they can control and find that silver lining.
Even though sports have been delayed, hopefully they will reopen soon.
Well, I'm hopeful that wrestling will remain open. out of all of the sports, wrestling takes a lot of precautions just because of all the skin contact and things like that to sanitize and being clean. And I think that the wrestling community in general has put a lot of things in mind as far as trying to stay safe and do in a way that will allow them to continue.
That's all for today, folks. Hopefully sports won't be gone for too long. This has been Ellie and Amelia, Noise News.
Thank you. We have one more story to get to, but before we take a look at that, let's take a look at the upcoming weather.
Good. I'm hoping Joe will tell me it's time to put on shorts.
I really doubt it's that, but we can ask. Here's Joe.
We're back, folks. All this time indoors has given me a fever. Not COVID, I am not infected, I simply have a need for telling you the weather forecast. And the only prescription is telling you the weather. Now for the forecast. Today, temps are going to start off around 30 degrees, and we'll be starting off cold this week, staying. Now tomorrow, Tuesday, is going to be partly cloudy, as you can see here, with the temperature sinking to a high of 30 as well. And then Wednesday through Friday, it's going to be snowing all those 3 days. And then temps are just going to continue to sink down to a high of 10 degrees on Friday. Saturday and Sunday are going to be freezing. So make sure to dress warm, Sting. Since we're all back from full distance, here is what we missed for weather. Wow. Did you see that? That's some weather right there. Look at that. Weather. Preston, is it 30 seconds yet?
No.
Oofta. Glad that's over. Back to you, Preston and Ellie.
It looks like I won't be wearing my shorts anytime soon.
No, I don't really think so, Preston.
Well, that's okay, because we have a really great story to cheer us up.
That's right. Let's head over to a story by Ben and Aiden about being productive at school and at home.
Staying productive in these troublesome times can be anything but easy. There's been a lot of changes as we move through distance and hybrid learning. For one, you're at home.
When it comes to productivity, there's this association of place that comes along with it. For me, school is that place, and not being in school makes it quite difficult for me to get focused in, stay productive, and get things done. And when I'm at home, is when I'm relaxed, man. That's when I'm messing around, I don't know, just pacing around a couch 7 times before I even realize what I'm actually doing. Crazy, right?
No matter where you are, responsibilities will find you, and it's your job to handle them.
Nowadays, there's some things that you can't control, like you have to start a new project for school, overlapping with another one, or you have to, or you choose to start a new job. That's a big one that actually happened to me. I started working, and that was a necessary step I had to take, but it conflicted with school a little bit. So the main thing is to stay focused on one thing at a time.
When the teachers give you time to do your work, definitely do it in that allotted time.
The best thing to do is to remember your end goal. If it's a personal goal that you're trying to stay productive, try to remember what you are working towards as a person.
This has been Ben and Aiden, Noise News.
That story did cheer me up.
Me too.
But the fun isn't over yet.
Finally, we have some inspiring words from Spectrum's own students and families to give us some hope and inspiration throughout the tough times in this pandemic.
There is no one meaning to life.
The meaning of life is a life that you're meant to fulfill while being yourself as much as you can and fulfill your dreams.
Life is what you make it. Some of the most successful people came from the trenches. If you don't know what that means they came from the bottom, right? Not everybody who's successful today was born into it, is destined for success as long as they go out and they get it, right? And that's the meaning of life. You have to go out, you have to get it. Nothing's handed to you, right?
When I was young, I used to think of life as waking up in the morning and being alive or being here as a human being. Life has to do with the balance between body, mind, and spirit. Life also has to have a purpose, whether that's through serving others or making a difference. But definitely, life has to do with what you do when you're still here.
Keep going no matter what. Have fun.
That was truly a great end to our show.
Well, until next time, it's been Ellie
and Preston keeping you
in on the noise.